And if you know me, and if you listen to every episode of this podcast or other podcasts, you know I haven't had Taco Bell since I was, 19? That's 23 years. I haven't had Taco Bell in 23 years. 23 years. You might be like, well, why don't you just say 25? Why don't you just say 20? And I would reply, because I know it's been 23 years. And then you'd be like, why? And then I say, because I remember when I vowed never to eat Taco Bell ever again. And then you might say, well, how do you know exactly when that was? But then I would specifically say, I was 19 because that's when I was at NYU standing outside of a Taco Bell that I just ate. And I thought, you know what? That wasn't that good. I'm never going to eat this again. And I'm going to remember this moment for the rest of my life. What a fucking lunatic, dude. But I did it, and I fucking stuck to it, and I didn't realize that that was my OCD in effect until a decade and a half later, dude. He's got problems. So we're watching the staircase, and they all get the idea, and by they, I mean the girls, to order Taco Bell. And I'm specifying that it's girls because, you know, if there is a co-ed gathering going on and somebody gets the idea or the hankering for Taco Bell, it's a woman who's drank a little bit, you know? And the guys go, sure. And then they eat more than the chicks, obviously, because chicks, you know, they'll do like half a fucking cheesy gordita. And the dude's like, yeah, dude, I'll house that. So they say, do you want Taco Bell? And I'm a little bit offended because know me, friends. No, I don't want Taco Bell. And they say, are you sure? And now I'm doubly mad because I've already answered. And you also should know, but also no. And then they say, okay. And then they go to order and they say, are you sure you don't want anything? And I don't say anything. Because number one, know me. Number two, also I answered it. And number three, you're being disrespectful now. Trust I know my opinion. So I just stare. And they go, all right. So they get some cheesy gorditas and some nachos and shit, and it shows up finally, and it's way too late. You know, the Postmates driver is doing the thing where he's like, oh no, that address actually doesn't exist. Like, they'll just say shit. Sorry, I'm late. There was a dragon in the way. Postmates. Oh, dude, you know what happened? I don't care. You might, actually. There was a fuck Crystalia rally I was trying to get through. I actually believe that, sir. So anyway, we get to the fucking, they get to the door and we get to all the gorditas show up and they're like, and they still, you want a bite? And I'm like, look, you know this about me. I haven't had Taco Bell in 23 years. And then my buddy says, how do you even know that? And I go through what I just told you. I said, you know, because I remember the moment and your boy was 19 and it's probably an OCD thing and whatever. And then Kristen says, okay, will you please try this? What the fuck is it called? Berry Blast? Do you know what it's called? It's like the new drink at Taco Bell. Baja Blast. That's what it's called. Baja Blast. Is Baja a fucking flavor? Like, you know, it's not, right? Does anyone ever fucking try something and they're like, tastes like Baja? The fuck out of here. Call it berry or whatever. And I say, no, I'm not going to drink that. I don't want to try a Baja Blast. And she says, please, I knew you were going to say that, but just try it for me. And now I'm put back on my heels. Why? Because why the fuck do you care so much what kind of Baja shit goes in my mouth? And she was like, it's so good and I just want you to experience it. And I say, this is not really like the kind of experience that I want to have. And she says, please, like for me. And I say, why for you? It's for me. And just because I want to share this. And you're growing as a person and you're trying new shit. And I say, bitch, I just went on a boat. You think just because I'm not landlocked anymore that you can just throw a Baja Blast inside my face? No. You're pushing your luck. See, this is why I should have never got on that boat, right? Before you know it, I'll move to Silver Lake, have a twisty mustache, a monocle, and a top hat, and people will be asking me if they could pass go. I'm me, motherfucker! So I'm like, I don't want this Baja Blast. And she says, please. And I say, babe, look, I appreciate it. I don't want the Baja Blast. And I say, why do you want me to have it if I don't want it? She says, because you don't know, you don't want it. And I said, I haven't had Taco Bell in 23 years. And she says, but this isn't even really Taco Bell. And I said, where'd you get it? And she goes, and walks away. And now I'm the bad guy. Woohoo! I don't consent to this Taco Bell, though. You're pressuring me. And then my buddy says, you're a fucking idiot, man. It's so good. And then I ask his girlfriend and I say, is it good? And she goes like this, literally like this. And for the audio listeners, it was a very deep, concerned look and a nod up and down. Like, I'd love to be on your side, but this Baja Blast is really something to write home about. So now I'm like, everyone's against me, dude. I lost the fucking Staircase HBO Max traumatization of the fucking documentary. And now I lost or watching documentary. And now I'm going to lose to this Baja Blast thing. But my OCD is strong. But then I realize it is my OCD. And I said, look, baby, it's my OCD. And she's like, oh, really? If it is, then I won't bother her. And now I feel like a bitch. So yes, she's winning on all accounts. Yes. Not only on the bad guy. Yes. I'm a pussy. Yes. He's a scared pussy, which is something that his ex called him. And that's when he realized that was the end of his relationship. Yes, dude. Yes. You don't call someone a scared pussy unless you want the relationship to be over. And then I fucking took it. And for a few weeks I lived with it. And then Bill Burr asked me how my relationship was once at the Ice House. And I said, well, it's weird because she called me a scared pussy. And he said, nah, you got to get rid of her. And that's when I realized I had to get rid of her. So thanks, Bill. So it's deeper, but I'm not a scared pussy. And I'm not going to let the OCD demon, as they say, control my life. So I say, technically it's not really from Taco Bell. You can get that anywhere. So I know they do specialize with the Baja Blast, but it's probably just like Sprite and fucking, Spot Shot and some ice. So let me just fucking, it's like neon. I'm like, I'm not going to like it. I promise. And then she goes, well, with that attitude. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to do that because I wasn't done talking. Whoopsie daisy, we interrupted me. If I drink it, I'm going to let my walls down. I'm going to sip it twice. And I'm going to absolutely give you the God's honest truth from within my heart. And she says, okay. And I say, I'll try the Baja Blast. Because it's not technically Taco Bell. It's kind of just in their drink system. So she says, here. And I grab it. I smell it because I want to know if I actually sincerely don't want to drink it. Because if it smells putrid, I'm just not going to put it in my mouth. I smell it. It passes the smell test. It smells bad, but I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I take one sip. I let it sit. I don't judge it yet because I'm not a piece of shit, dude. I take another sip, just like I said I was. And my buddy's girlfriend says, ooh, that means he likes it. And then, of course, I feel my blood inside my heart because I said I'm going to take 2 sips to make a good judgment. And now she's trying to push an agenda. Okay? So I take that second sip and I said, no, I didn't take that. This is kind of shit this is the kind of fucking life that I have. This is the shit that we talk about. And I say, no, I said I was going to take a second sip because I wanted to judge it fairly because I told you I wanted to judge it fairly and I'm a man of my word. Okay? And she said, okay. I let it sit in my head. I didn't just taste it with my tongue. I tasted it with my head. You ever taste something with your whole head? That's when you really know how banging it is, right? You don't just let it fucking ruminate on your palate. You let it envelop your whole fucking head. I let it envelop my whole fucking head. And it turns out that the Baja Blast from Taco Bell is fucking awful. And that's the God's honest truth. So I hand it back and I say, It's awful, and I mean that with my heart. And they go, oh, come on. And I say, it tastes like Windex. And I said to the guy, does it taste like Windex or am I bullshitting? And he goes like this, I mean, you know, and I go, so it does taste like Windex a little bit. It's not good, dude. I hate to say I told you so, but I gave a God's honest review of the Baja Blast, and it's bad. So fuck yeah. Now I danced with Taco Bell, right? I didn't take Taco Bell, but I danced with it in the soft moonlight a little bit. Do you know what I'm talking about? I didn't eat Taco Bell, but I let it dance on my taste buds into the palate and also ruminate in my head a little bit without eating any meat, cheese, or sour cream. So I danced with it. I danced with Taco Bell in the pale moonlight, but I didn't fuck with Taco Bell. So that just made it so I'm never eating Taco Bell again. So, dude, he won. Yes, he got out of that one.